Let's fucking go! I'll try to get a headset mic soon. Well, I do have a headset mic. I just need the proper wire to make it so it does headset as well as headphones. I'll get those next month. I'll get a headset mic next month. I'll get the proper wires next month. I know it is an absolver.
Activity ahead. It is possible they are conducting test operations while the lab is closed. They're not going to make it easy to get into that lab. Is there some way you could sneak past? Let's go! It's a box. How's that gonna help? Oh, it's for medical supplies. That could work, actually.
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Where's my gator hat? When did I get a gator hat? There's no block, it's just parrying this. I forgot what the button was for Phirei. I'm thinking of an Psiber. Oh, ow. That's Phirei. I did it. It was very ugly, but I did it.
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your
that's good to know.
Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice.
I wasn't aware of that. Good to know.
Raiden, I have determined the approximate location of the lab based on the boy's information. It is marked on your Soliton radar.
Get fucked! Oh no! See, it's fine. Get fucked! And the screen is blue, hold LT, okay. How blue is blue? Because it's been a couple days since I played it, and I only played for 3 hours. thank you. Thank you, Zach. I see now. I never really noticed that. Won't the ever-loving fuck? No, I didn't know. Did you ever see me do it? No, I don't think so. You never saw me do it.
Raiden, I have discovered the entrance to the lab. Sending coordinates to your solitary radar.
Okay. Well, good to know.
Nice hiding spot. Wonder where you learned that from.
I must have forgotten, Zach. I'm sorry. Apparently, I've posted it over 6 gorillion times. Is a race, ethnicity, religion thing. Yeah, probably because gorilla. That explains it. Yeah, because of gorilla. It looks like gorilla. It looks like gorilla. Gorillian looks like gorilla. There we go. Had to fix the scroll. It's probably because I allowed it the first time.
Ah, this would appear to be the UG maintenance area. You should find a terminal there. Something they use to upload mission parameters to the UGs.
And something I can use to access the lab's main server?
Perhaps. But first you need to take a dump.
Wait, what?
I do.
A dump? A digital optical output mounted proxy. You'll need one to interface with the terminal. Most any UG should suffice. A tripod or the like.
I'll see what I can come up with. How do I use it?
Simply connect to it. You should be able to use your communications outlay to control the proxy UG.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Raiden. I thought you said stealth ops were your specialty.
continue to increase security, they may shut out all outside network connections. Please do your best to avoid being seen.
So I can't kill anyone, I have to... Alright. I'll try to be sneaky. Okay. How is I supposed to be sneaky there?
Is it over?
For now, yeah. But that room, those were cyborg brain casings.
Duh, we saw.
George said they were harvesting organs from kids.
Yes, this must be why they are trafficking children. Perhaps other organs are being sold elsewhere, but they are definitely taking their brains.
Jesus, are they making these kids into cyborgs?
Wait, the cyborgs you've been fighting, did they seem like they might be kids? You said earlier that child soldiers have a telltale approach to combat.
Yeah, but I didn't see it here. Those weren't kids.
So, what? Desperados just doing the surgeries there?
We've got to do something about all those brains.
Child
And the other kids
soldiers.
George was talking about.
But in a
He
new
just escaped a
generation.
few hours ago. They couldn't have taken all their brains out that fast.
True. There could still be a bunch of kids they haven't touched yet.
I better move.
Probably best you stay out of there. We don't want to risk harming any of the brains.
Where am I supposed to go? Am I missing something obvious? I was missing something obvious.
Splendid! It is all ours. Now, use it to locate a data input terminal.
These guys are pretty jumpy now. Any funny business, and they might just open fire.
Try latching onto cyborgs' heads from behind. Then, an electric shock should knock them unconscious.
Oh no! Why didn't it let me do the thing? There we go. I tried to jump it down at him from behind. I tried to jump down at him from behind. It didn't let me do a stealth thing from above. These drones are not cool ninjas. They're just a bunch of arms. These drones are just a few tiny arms. Also, these things are actually kind of cute in a horrific way. I love how they run. I love their cute little squeaks too. Oh, wait, I see. I saw what I was supposed to do. Oh, I only got a D. Oh, well.
That terminal is most likely designed to download mission data and such into the UGs. Let's try using it to access the lab server.
Wow, that was so relatable. The fact that I had such a hard time getting it right the first time.
I found something. In one of the Sentry Cyborg's visual logs. Guess who shows up?
Patch it through.
Right away.
Hey, it's Bruce Willis. In a big heavy coat. Bruce Willis looks like a Goomba from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
We just do not have the full quantity yet. Each brain has its own unique requirements. It's not like we can just pop them out with an ice cream scoop. All right. Here's your point.
Oh, it's the senator.
Thank you for understanding.
Say what you have now, I will destroy any unharvested inventory.
Yeah? But have you any idea what they cost?
Last I checked, the children weren't exactly rare in the part of the world. Millions of them, in fact.
Wow, you're a
We can
dick.
get more once we set up a new lab. They lead lives of hunger and pain. We're performing a service here for the band and the cities they burn.
You're an absolute dickwad.
What just gathering the donors required a significant investment.
Yes. Accounting will be in touch.
Gracias. I assure you we will dispose of our inventory in the instant we can confirm payment. Are we done here?
I've got a full slate today. The Kunse is a demanding mistress. America has suffered long enough.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me see you out.
You see that, Kev? Inmani's killer.
Desperado's chief of operations goes by Sundowner, the Californian wildfire.
The kids.
Think we're too late?
Only one way to find out. George was still alive. Maybe the payment hasn't come through yet.
Maybe. But you heard what he said. They've already started some brains on VR training.
There must be more than just what I found here. What about the VIP in the suit?
I'll find out. He definitely seemed familiar.
Right. I'm going after the kids.
What was I gonna do? Oh, right.
You ever see the guy in the suit before?
I am sorry. No.
Nothing in your database?
I have no database, Raiden. The symbol grounding capabilities of my Neuro AI allow me to identify
I forgot to
faces
check with
in
everyone
only
earlier.
the vaguest of terms.
So I'll probably change
I can
between now
judge
and then.
whether I think I may have seen him before, but I do not have the accuracy of a database.
Well, that's ridiculous. You're an AI.
An AI modeled after the human brain, and thus as flexible and occasionally vague as any humans.
Wolf, I love you
Of
so
this
much.
man, however, I have no recollection. I do not believe I have encountered him before. Most likely.
Oh, man. So, how much do you know about how Desperados operate?
I was at the lowest possible tier of information disclosure, beneath standard contractors. As it was explained to me, contractors need at least some information divulged to them. I did not. As a machine, I had no contract and no rights. I was kept in the dark. My knowledge is no deeper than what is already generally known throughout the industry.
Couldn't you hack into their network or something? You're an AI.
Perhaps, if I had free access to a computer. Also, hands. Those are necessary to operate a keyboard.
Ah, just will it.
But you are a computer.
It is not so simple. There are protocol issues. Neuro AIs are far closer in structure to the human brain than standard von Neumann architecture computers.
Well, I would have tried anyway. Did you have contact with anyone besides Mistral?
I engaged in tandem field operations with Sam on several occasions. However, he was even more difficult for me to comprehend than Mistral.
I bet.
Land a flurry of strikes against the cyborg and his brain-machine interface may malfunction. This will take him momentarily offline. The same applies to UGs as well. Strike often enough and their AIs become unable to keep up with the required real-time processing. Make that happen, and you can enjoy a decisive advantage.
So strike them in the
Assuming
head,
you have
got it.
sufficient power, you could even enter blade mode and finish the fight right there. No matter how strong their armor, getting knocked offline leaves them completely vulnerable.
Doc, they're VR training those kids' brains.
Indeed, much as one might expect. Simply installing someone in a cyborg body does nothing to enhance their neural acuity. True combat efficacy requires the right knowledge and the right operant conditioning.
Yeah, but this isn't just normal army training. This is the Sears program.
Indeed, the instructor sends data directly into the brain. The experience is almost impossible to discern from real life.
No, Doc. I'm not talking about the VR tech. The training program's completely different.
It is only VR, Raiden. They are not actually hurt.
Well, right. That's because they don't have bodies to get hurt with. But they still feel pain. Without that, it just isn't realistic enough. That, and with this training, you're the one doing the killing. Not just the soldiers, innocent people, POWs, civilians.
It's
I
brainwashing.
see. So that is what the Sears program is.
Yeah. Look, I gotta move. Out. Any idea who the guy in the suit is, Boris?
No. I feel like maybe I have seen him before. But I am not so up-to-date on U.S. news like Kevin.
Isn't that kind of stuff important given the business you're in? And Maverick's based in Nevada. I know you're only there a few times a year, but still.
This is why I have staff in America. Excellent workers. They run place for me. No questions asked.
That's not really what I'm talking about, Boris. Any idea who the guy
Raiden.
in the suit is, Boris?
No,
Raiden
but
sounds so
I-
frustrated.
Who's the guy in the suit?
Doc's on it. He's running his face through for a match as we speak. But we only got a glimpse. Hard to pull a full set of features to match a photo with. We're gonna need some more time.
Got it.
He definitely looks familiar.
but I have no idea where I would have seen it.
Too bad we can't run a search on your brain.
Sometimes it might be nice. Sounds like Imani was a pretty great leader. Such a goddamn waste.
I've run cover for a lot of VIPs, but men like him are a rare breed. He had all these conflicting factors to deal with. Old tribal tensions, business interests, the military. But Imani got them all working together in a stable government, and all without firing a shot.
The savior of a nation. No wonder they called him that.
He had a gift for sure, but he also put in the hard work. He was big on equality and justice in every aspect of government. He fought for it day in, day out. Imani single-handedly energized his people. He's a big part of why the country recovered so quickly.
True. It was more than new buildings and jobs. The people had hope again.
If only we had someone like him back in Liberia. Things would have been different, that's for sure. And it was my job to protect him.
Raiden, come on.
Imani wouldn't want me to go after Desperado. Not out of revenge, anyway. But he would want them stopped. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Imani's a cool guy.
Know anything about the guy in the suit, Courtney?
Not a clue. Sorry. I feel like I might have seen him somewhere, but...
Yeah. It's a pretty common-looking face.
No, it's not.
Doc's analyzing all his facial features right now. He should have something for you soon.
All right. I've got a few things to do here anyway.
Yep. Do you want to save first? Okay. Save complete. Don't let your guard down, okay?
You know much about Guyana, Courtney?
Not really. I know the name, but don't ask me anything about what it's like.
You mean you haven't even tried the food?
Nope. No research trips this time. Besides, who knew we'd be running into any Guyanese here? I'm looking now, though. Looks like a lot of their diet is seafood. It's a small coastal nation, so it's probably easy to get fresh fish across the whole country. A lot of their dishes use Indian spices. That's where a lot of their immigrants come from.
Delicious.
Fish with curry, huh? Sounds tasty.
That sounds tasty.
Maybe you could finish reading all about the food there after the mission.
Huh? Oh, it just, came up while I was reading up on Guyana in general.
Right. Well, let me know if you find anything actually useful.
It just popped up in the search results, I swear.
From those guys. I could have gotten hands from those guys. If I'd just been a little more patient and thought that through a little more. What seems fucked up?
Bad news, Raiden. We can't find George.
What?
Maybe the coordinates you sent us were off?
No way. I merged the GPS location of our entry with all my movement data from that point on.
This is bad.
You think they got to him first?
I don't know. I'll have our guys sweep the area.
Thanks. I better keep moving.
No, it's fine. Actually, no, you're right. That was pretty fucked up. Now that you mention it, they were sleeping pretty peacefully. I'll just take their hands next time.
Is blocking the way. Push that thing back.
Oh, right. Red means Phirei. Right. No, I didn't do it fast enough. I didn't do it fast enough again. I did it too late again. There you go, got it.
They've switched to biped mode. Careful. It is whole new battle now.
Right. I knew I'd seen that guy before. Stephen Armstrong.
Zach
As in
is
Colorado
very
Senator
frustrated.
Stephen Armstrong. They're already talking about him as a
I
shoo-in for
don't
the
know why I
nomination in
can't read
2020.
Zach.
And get this.
Yeah,
2
I
years
got
ago,
an
a
average.
federal grand
I
jury
got better than
investigated
average. C
his
is more
ties to a
average.
certain private...
World Marshal, one of the biggest PMCs out there. I remember.
Yeah, he's just
The
mad.
biggest, ever since the Big Five split up. Not to mention the single largest investor
He's
in
mad
military
at my
cyborg
skills.
R&D in the world. Guess that answers the question of who's backing Desperado.
Marshall and Desperado in bed together. Should make for some fun headlines.
Headlines? This is World Marshal and a U.S. Senator we're talking about. There won't be any headlines. Even without the Patriots filter, no major media outlet will investigate allegations like these. It'd be financial and political suicide.
So we just what? Sit back while they keep carving up kids, stand aside while they build an army of cyborgs? You heard them. We shut down one lab, they build another. They're planning something big, Kev. We can't just wait for it to happen. We need to hit them first and hit them hard where it counts.
No, Raiden, no. I know what you're thinking, and just no. Colorado is in America, and America has these things called laws.
Mm-hmm. And law enforcement in Denver was privatized and farmed out to...
Marshall, yes, so what? There are still laws, and it's their headquarters, for Christ's sakes. You'd be heading right into the heart of a raging shitstorm.
I didn't say it would be easy. We'll figure it out once the kids are safe.
Jesus.
Thank you, Apple.
Kevin, out.
America still as warmongery as ever. In every single canon that ever existed.
Enemy sighted!
I always forget to do Zandatsu whenever it turns blue. Aw, Apple. If only hard work and kindness earn money. I'm not very good at this game. Oh, I didn't know it. You get an automatic Zandatsu if you parry. That's good to know.
Ah, an artificial blood cryopreserver. They must have begun preparatory freezing.
What do you mean?
That device is filled with synthetic blood plasma. It can slow the metabolism of a harvested organ, circulating this plasma to sustain oxygen levels. You can preserve an arm, a brain, any body part for several hours.
So what are they freezing, and why?
I could not say. Perhaps they plan to sell off the organs of the children they were told to dispose of.
Unbelievable.
You had best hurry, Raiden.
Right.
Cut through the glass! Cut through the glass!
They stop right there. George.
Raiden.
You've heard of chloroform? I put an anesthetic in smaller doses. But with too much of it? And adios, muchachos. Take a glass, and I'll blow his brains out.
That's fair, Apple.
What do you say? The needs of the many or the needs of the few?
How much is the needs of the many?
Don't worry about me now.
Quiet, pendejo!
Come on, break the glass, break the glass!
Surrender. I won't ask again.
Break the glass!
George, are you sure?
Already? Me life now so precious. Ting, but if we can take this skull to hell with me.
Cállate.
That's all I needed to hear.
Stop it! Now! I'll kill him, I swear!
Brave boy indeed. Good job, Raiden. Now break the glass. How about you break the fucking glass? I got a C overall. Mariachi uniform, awesome. Breaking glass is hard to animate? I guess. Cool pose first, saving kids later. Well, given my playstyle, I need the extra healing items to make this easier on myself. I don't know if I want to. I need the healing. Alright, fine. I'll give it a shot. It's the only way to play. I'll give it a shot. I completely forgot I had a dodge function. I'll try to remember to check my move list, and thank you, Zach. I appreciate that.
Police are still investigating a motive.
I like your car, Raiden.
President Hamilton is on his way to the Middle East this morning for his scheduled visit with Pakistani President Farouk Salam. The meeting is viewed as an attempt by the U.S. to strengthen relations amidst the surge of anti-American sentiment in the region.
Of course there's anti-American sentiment.
George, good to see you up and about. How you feeling?
Never better not. No pain, no fatigue while them hungry baby, and me never ever feel so awake, nah.
That's because your blood sugar levels are being maintained automatically. Beats the hell out of coffee.
Oh! Even here you go, one of them gone in the bay. Why the rat you not take me with you, huh?
Damn it, Doc. Sorry, kid. You'd just be in the way.
Aw.
Besides, I thought you didn't want to be a killer, right?
We don't, but...
Killing isn't fun and games. Remember that.
Unless it's a video game, then it's fun and games.
That's all I needed to hear.
It yearns to bathe in the blood of
Yeah, just remember that.
Yeah! Fuck the cops. Fuck the police. Is there a driving minigame in this? Please tell me there's a driving minigame in this.
You cannot resign.
Sorry, Boris, it's done. Can't have a Maverick employee involved in a corporate raiding now, can we?
You could at least come talk to me.
No. It was time to break away from the old team, Boris. Past time.
You cannot take on Marshall all by yourself.
I won't sit by while they butcher little kids and ship their hearts around like meat. It's sick.
It's not all so simple, Raiden. The import was trained legally. From medical facilities all the
Being legal doesn't make it right.
Being legal doesn't make it right, you're right.
Hold that fucker.
Raiden's a good boy. Fucking go! Let's go! Hey, Wolf. You're happy with me. Can we just appreciate that, that Raiden is his heels?
I will patrol ahead.
I want a game where I play as
You're
Wolf.
not licensed to operate in this area. You're in violation of state and federal law.
Guess you better arrest me then.
183-104.7, threatening a peace officer. Deadly force is authorized.
You can tell the cops are as much of bastards as this in real life.
Wolf, I'll handle the police. You're on scout duty again.
Affirmative. Exercise caution. They may be private police, but their specs are military grade. I am setting goal markers on your Soliton radar. Use them to follow me through this area.
Good boy.
I will ignore the condescension and take that as a compliment. You are welcome.
Thank you, Wolf.
I trust you do not mind my telling George about you arriving.
Could have done without that, Doc. He didn't need to know I was here.
Well, there was no reason to conceal that from him. My intention was not to impugn you. He has a right to know. It's not as if he can simply fly over there and meddle in your affairs.
It's throwing off my emotional balance, Doc. Things like that can negatively impact the mission, you know?
However do you mean? You did the right thing, did you not? There's nothing to be ashamed of. George has the best body we can give him right now. And the rest of the children are also safe. And quite content too, I should add.
That makes me
happy. It was
happy.
your quick decision-making that saved them, Raiden. George's body will require regular maintenance, not to mention a replacement upon reaching adult age. But the expense is more than worth it.
You planning on signing him up with a PMC? Because that's the only job we're good for, as far as I can tell.
Oh, you are quite mistaken there. Just consider it. The power of a machine matched with the nimbleness and creativity of a human. The construction and public works possibilities alone are endless. I saw a news piece on German TV just the other day about a cyborg plumber, in fact. Let's not forget about elder care either. One needs great strength to bathe and care for the bedridden.
It's true.
But it's also very delicate work, if you follow. Not the sort of thing you'd leave to a machine.
Sounds great. So long as we don't start replacing the old folks' bodies, too. Just because they're old.
A valid concern, yes. I recall reading a comic like that once. An old farmer created a cybernetic body to fight evil military scientists and so on.
Yeah. But can't George do anything besides physical labor, though?
Oh, he has every right to choose another path. If he opts not to take advantage of his body's physical strength, he's free to pursue academia instead. His body provides a completely ideal chemical environment for his brain, after all. I can certainly see how that would prove handy in the realm of higher education. The only problem would be how to cover the costs. The issue of student loan debt in the U.S. is thorny enough already, even for normal students.
Wow.
Yeah. All this stuff's not just George's problem, though.
Accurate.
All the other brains I'm gonna rescue will have to deal with it, too. Giving them bodies won't be the end of their problems. It'll be the beginning.
That's student loan accuracy.
On a happier note, though, excellent work in bringing George's lower body back. Now he'll very likely be able to produce children in the future. Bravo!
So George was sliced in half, as I thought.
I trust you're not still upset, Raiden.
About telling George about me? Look, let's just drop it, okay?
Gladly. I'm just glad I was able to assist you with operating the cryopreserver anyway.
I know, Doc.
Not that it's so difficult. With that pipe, you simply immerse the organs in the artificial plasma inside.
Yeah? I wouldn't think it was so easy to keep organs alive. How's it work, anyway?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. It uses chilled nanomachine-infused artificial plasma. That suppresses the metabolism and regulates the oxygen intake of whatever is stored inside. The nanomachines are fully self-pumping. Once hemoglobin is detected in the local environment, they release a flow of plasma into the organ where the body's original plasma is still present. When George's body was inserted into the storage cabin, artificial blood, chilled nearly to freezing point, automatically flowed in at the points of amputation. This dropped the internal temperature of the parts from 36 to 10 degrees centigrade.
Ooh, I'm
The result?
tired.
The effective suppression of all metabolic activity. The plasma was also fine-tuned to keep the SpO2 level inside the organs at 90% or above. The synergetic effect of all this allowed the brain to reach the regenerative treatment facility quickly, before any cell tissue was damaged, at least. A most effective device, I must say. A micro gas turbine engine enables it to operate completely autonomously as a standalone unit. Would have been tough to lug over to the hospital otherwise.
Truly state-of-the-art indeed. I suspect it cost as much as a well-stocked emergency ambulance.
At the risk of speaking inappropriately, this group certainly knows how to use its budget.
Guess I should be glad these guys have got so much money to throw around.
Blocked by barricades. We will proceed through the buildings. You will follow me.
Sure thing, Wolf.
Requesting this zone be designated for heightened security. Upgrading security status.
Raiden, what's your status?
They trashed my car. I'll have to go the rest of the way on foot.
Do you really have to do this?
Look, I'm fed up with all of it. Companies like ours, yours, bend the laws when it suits business. Why not bend it when it can save innocent lives?
Raiden.
Boris, listen to me. That VR training, they'll be warped into killing machines. They'll be set on POWs, civilians. It'll be one atrocity after another.
Like what you went through.
We can't have any more Jack the Rippers. You saw what happened with George. I'm doing this, Boris. I have to. I can't save those kids from becoming cyborgs, but I can stop them from becoming murderers.
Say you succeed. Say you get all the brains back. Then what?
Just so happens I know great cybernetic surgeon.
Doctor. But he cannot.
You won't change my mind, Boris. This is my fight now.
And your
Awesome,
wife
Raiden.
and son? What of them?
They're in New Zealand. Safe. Rose would understand why I have to do this.
All right, damn you. You do realize Marshall has the contract for law enforcement throughout the city. They are the law in Denver.
Yeah, we've met.
Well then. Officially, Maverick Incorporated condemns you and your actions as unlawful. And a pain in the asshole. Now, increase your codec encryption. Do not worry about the lag.
And unofficially?
I'll do all I can over the codec to help. I do not like what those mudaki are doing any more than you.
Spasiba, товарищ. Spasiba.
Spasiba. Not bad.
Raiden, you will find an elevator inside that office. Use it to reach the roof. Traveling atop buildings will minimize enemy encounters.
What's your status?
I am reviewing the pre-flight checklist now. I have hired contractors to handle shipping the brain units. We should be airborne in just a few minutes.
You sure you can pilot that chopper by yourself?
Raiden, of course. Need I remind you that we live in the golden age of unmanned flight? Even manned helicopters possess a robust semi-automatic mode. It is simple, really. So simple that I can continue to monitor your status and world marshal security from the pilot seat. I must say, for the world's largest PMC, their security procedures are quite poor. Quite poor. Sadly, I did not have the necessary permissions to override their plans. Nevertheless, the data I did find should prove most useful. So please, do feel free to contact me whenever you like.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Well, it's not every day one has the chance to collect so many brains. Think of the data, the research. Oh, and of course, your personal safety was a concern as well. Raiden, respond! Raiden! Raiden!
Can we just appreciate my first thought was, can I jump off this building? should know better than that.
Good, Raiden. Very good.
Proceed any further via the rooftops. There is a freight railroad underground. The elevator ahead will take you to it. Your earlier actions were reckless, Raiden. Not to mention the damage to a perfectly good car.
I knew the risks when I decided to go through with this. Besides, the car was mine. Maverick sold it to me. It's not meant for private use. It was made for ops like this.
Regardless, your approach has proven most antagonistic. You are now a criminal, a public enemy, a police-killing vigilante. Even if your actions reveal World Marshal's designs, you will be unable to avoid legal punishment.
Probably not, but that's a price I'll have to pay. I gotta stop that VR program and get those kids back. I sealed my fate the second I attacked George.
But George is not dead. In fact, he has obtained an even more versatile body than his previous one.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me. I was a child soldier in Liberia, like Miss Trawl said. I was a mentally deranged child. People feared me, called me Jack the Ripper.
A result of the so-called Sears program.
I thought I'd left it all in the past. But just like that, Jack came roaring back.
This is why you are so driven to terminate the VR training. I understand. I will continue to cooperate.
Copy that. Wolf, the elevator's offline.
Surely you realize how to proceed. You are familiar with Newton's law of universal gravitation? Count the wire, and the car will fall.
So how long can George use that medical body he's in right now?
Well, the body's full shelf life has yet to be proven, but with regular maintenance, I would imagine 10 years or more. However, this is also a child's model. It will need to be replaced as he grows mentally and emotionally. But things have come together pretty well overall.
Guess that's gonna be a problem, huh?
It will. Also, this is the only body of its type I could procure on such short notice. I'm afraid the other brains will have to make do with their VR environment for now.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right that George gets the only body, though.
Well, it was you who implored I do something for him, no? I assumed prioritizing him was called for.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Doc. It was a pretty stressful moment.
We will have many more brains to watch over before long, I fear. Something I don't entirely mind, I should note. The more research subjects I have, the better. Still, some sort of decision regarding their long-term care shall have to be made soon. It will be some time before we're able to monetize any of this research, after all.
Maybe go
as
to
much as I might
Montecurio and
like
open up an
to, I
orphanage.
can't run this lab on good intentions alone, you know.
Yeah. We need to come up with something, and soon, for all our sakes.
We should be able to mass-produce child bodies in very short order, at least. By the way, I have a helicopter crew on standby to bring the brains back here should the need arise. I, too, will be departing in a little while.
Much appreciated, Doc.
Consider it an angel investment. Who knows what sort of new business I may be soon pioneering here.
Quick question, Doc.
Yes, right.
Doc, those kids, how are they feeling?
Oh, after the chloroform, you mean? No need to be concerned. Thanks to your quick actions, the effects have already dissipated.
Good to hear. Why the hell were they using chloroform? I thought they stopped using it as an anesthetic ages ago.
Correct. Sevoflurane or isoflurane are the preferred inhalation anesthetics today. However, chloroform is still quite useful as an organic solvent. In certain doses, mind you. Otherwise, as that cretin mentioned, it can be a bit dangerous.
It certainly turned out dangerous for him.
Yes. In any case, its properties make it useful for an assortment of applications. The chemical synthesis of medication, for example, or creating the coolant used in modern cryopreservers.
Fascinating.
Indeed. Well, Raiden, wonderful work. Had you waited any longer before breaking the glass, things might not have turned out as well as they did.
That sucks. I know it's not part of our mission, but I don't like seeing innocent civilians die for no reason.
Yeah.
Jesus, Raiden, this is a little over the top. I mean, I've seen you pull some shit before, but this,
You should know me better than that by now, Kev.
I thought I did. Look, I know there's no legal way to stop World Marshal, but there has got to be an alternative to going on a rampage smack dab in the center of Denver.
No alternatives, Kev. I'm getting those kids out.
Raiden, that VR training, it's like what you did in Liberia?
Judging by what Sundowner said in Mexico, yeah. That scientist called it the Sears program.
After ex-President George Sears, a.k.a. Solidus Snake.
Yep. Ironic that kid shares his name. Solidus trained child soldiers in Liberia while working as a CIA paramilitary. It's not a happy memory. All the drugs, the non-stop violence, it destroyed my sense of judgment completely. I was made to kill soldiers, POWs, civilians.
Raiden.
The next thing I know, Jack's back. I thought it was all in the past, but there I am, attacking a child.
You didn't have any other choice. Other kids would have died.
That's not the problem. I lost my cool back there. All I could do was think how much I wanted that guy dead.
A lot of us would have done the same.
Even if it meant killing George.
He's not dead, though. Actually, he really digs his new body.
Either way, I'm shutting this program down. Maybe they've got it better than me. They don't actually have to kill anyone in reality. But they're still going through the motions, having it pumped straight into their senses, just like real life.
All right. Just give me a call if there's anything I can do.
Sure. Raiden out.
So you could not stop them. Well, so be it. Perhaps you've got enough to worry about.
Right. Boris, I want to check how raising the codec encryption level affects transmission.
Copy. Reading you 5, Raiden. You?
Loud and clear. I'm seeing a reduction in peak power when sending. We're on a broader direct sequence spread spectrum?
Da. Frequency hopping pattern changed to blue 1.
Copy.
Interference still appears below process gain, too. Hell of a system. Worth every dollar. What is your processing load?
I pinged HQ data storage with my tactical data line. The increase in latency is below 5%.
Хорошо. In that case, it will not affect mission. Our system is just one notch below toughest security available. Denver police cannot see we are even transmitting at all. All our communication is perfectly safe.
Copy that.
Did they...
Life signs are nil. Guess I was too late.
Copy that. Back to the mission, I guess. I heard what happened, Raiden. I don't know if I can offer much help, but at least I'm still here to save your data, okay?
Thanks. If things get bad, go ahead and delete it.
If worse comes to worse, I'll do it. But we're on an encrypted line, so we should be okay. Did you want to save?
That's where I
By
stopped
the
for
way,
the night.
what did Boris mean when he said those brains were for medical purposes?
They're not just spare parts. Legally, they have human rights. They just don't have bodies. They aren't covered under the Arms Trade Treaty. They can even be legally adopted.
Adopted? They're brains.
Not as the law sees it. These are street kids after all. Most of them have no ID or papers whatsoever. Local mobs gather these kids up, declare them for adoption, and then send them off to a U.S. medical facility for treatment.
So you're saying Desperado didn't actually buy those kids? Directly, at least?
They're not stupid, just evil. The basic idea is that the Mafia has these orphan kids, and Desperado pulled their brains, right? Now they need treatment, so the Mafia sends them to the medical facility to get them new bodies.
A World Marshal medical facility.
One that only exists on paper. Once the brains cross the border, next stop is World Marshal HQ. The plan is to put them into factory bodies and assemble the cyborgs here in Denver.
Pretty convoluted process.
If there's a silver lining to all this, it's that the first brains only shipped a month ago. Doc confirmed that in the data he's collected. You can speed up the VR training process for AIs, but not with human beings. So it's likely none of the kids have completed training yet.
Thank God.
That training, though. Sorry. I should get back. We can talk later.
And that's where I stopped for the night.
This must be the railroad.
It would appear so. Likely part of Denver's old system. This city was a major transport hub in the early years of freight trains. This particular line appears to have been abandoned some time ago. It was originally constructed to transport supplies to an underground factory. But now, it seems even the electrical system is no longer functioning.
Yeah, it's pitch black in here.
As a cyborg, I trust this is not a serious concern.
That's where I stopped for the night. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun, Apple.